Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Francisco Ruvalcaba Jr. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Hey, it's Tuesday. Did you have a good weekend? Did you have a lot of open houses? What'd you do?
No, it took it a little slow this weekend. It was a birthday weekend, so
Your birthday?
yeah. On Wednesday.
Facebook didn't even tell me it was your birthday. I apologize. Belated happy birthday.
Good. Thank you. No, just relax a little bit. I was still helping people out though. It's like we were talking about like off air too, right?
Which is it? Took the weekend off, or you're helping people out? You can't do both.
Well, it was a slower weekend where it didn't do the open houses and try to get some more newer business or anything, but helping out with other clients and stuff. And like I was telling you too, I helped someone out with purchasing like a land property too. But yeah, it's just staying busy.
A lot of people are looking at that because they can't find anything that's ready to go. And it's great if you know what you're doing and you have everybody in place. But for us, we've decided to probably throw in the towel on our 32 acres and let somebody else have the fun of building on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just because it's so costly still to this day to build, and I get it. You can do it. And it depends on if you're an owner contractor and you're building as a spec home, it's one thing. If you're building as your owner, the owner occupied, it's a totally different world.
Yeah. I think that's where, and I get those calls a lot too, right? Where people want to reach out and they're like, hey, I want to buy this piece of land and maybe put a modular or something on it. It always sounds really cheap, right? But there's just so much on the back end where, yeah, definitely you need to have some experience, know some people, have the right connections to make it not be a headache.
Right. The best, if you're going to buy a lot, you want to buy one that already has a septic in it and a well, right? Or on city or whatever. So basically some of those best ones are, they have an old manufactured home on there, a mobile home, single wide that never was attached to the ground, but they put those two things in there and then you build something out there. But if you want to do an inexpensive, it's buy the land, go get a manufactured home, which is for most people's words, a mobile home, have it brought out, don't put it on a permanent foundation, just leave it there. Then you only pay taxes on the land.
Yeah.
If you attach it to a permanent foundation, then it's a real property and you got to pay taxes on the manufactured home and the land. Yeah. Right before you go to sell it, though, you put a permanent foundation underneath it for $5,000 and now you have real property and you sell it for full price. You follow me?
Great. Yeah.
And for 10, 12 years, you live there and you don't pay huge taxes. And then when you're ready to sell it, that's what you can do. So as long as it doesn't leave the property, meaning the mobile home didn't move to the next property, it stayed there, it's been there the whole time, it doesn't matter when the foundation's put underneath it.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's like, again, like that's something that I think would work out great. It's just as hard though. I mean, the prices of lots are still pretty pricey. Mm-hmm. Everything, right now has been pricey, but the thing is that it's only going to keep going up. Yeah. That's like the worst part of it all, is that so many people keep anticipating and waiting. Like that's where I've noticed a lot of people are jumping back on the back burner, right? And they're coasting again. Granted, due to the rates, mm-hmm. like around this time, we were hoping to see like a big change the other way. Yeah.
Now we're getting close to, anyway, I ain't saying it. Not going to say it.
Well, and that's the thing is it's a weird market, however, because despite that, people still question, why are things still selling so quick and why are things still moving so fast? It's because people are realizing that the inventory is not going to get any bigger.
Nope. We're 2.5 million short in California. I don't know how many times I have to still say that number, and we're adding to it, not taking away from it, because they're not building.
Yeah.
I mean, they're building some, because people are like, well, there's 300 over here. Yeah. Over the next 2 years, that's nothing. We used to do 1,000 a year in Modesto. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
We're not doing 1,000, 500 in series. We're not doing 750. I mean, that's the thing, is we're just not doing enough right now. And we need to do more, but it's going to take time. And I was listening to so many people who were talking about this, and they're like, you can't build your way out of this right now.
No, I mean,
it's going to take too long for that to happen. And with the current administration so against everything and I mean statewide, up against everything, you got to make sure this beetle or this thing doesn't, it's going to take decades for us to be able to get those lots ready.
Yeah. It's like even the new homes that are out there, you look at a lot of the new builds right now, they're just sitting. They're not moving as quickly as they should because they're so expensive.
What are they, average 600,000?
Right. I mean, even,
well, here's an example, right? So if you look at in 2020, if you were buying a $750,000 house and you put 20% down, your payment was $2,500, right? Just the principal and interest. Today, same scenario, 20% down, you're looking at you purchasing $443,000 to have the same principal interest payment at $2,500.
Yeah, it's chopping people's purchase power literally right down the middle.
See, that's because rates are above 7% on Fannie and Freddie stating that, not me.
Yeah,
I'm not quoting rates. I'm just stating what I'm hearing out there, because everybody's rate's different. Depends on your FICO score, how much down, size of the loan amount. So there's just so many factors, right? Yeah. And the other thing I ran into recently is I was trying to do something for somebody, and I'm like, their daughter's involved. Anyway, and then she's in between everybody. And then I got a message from the mom. I don't understand. How can it be that one late caused this not to be able to go through? And I'm like, well, what most people don't realize is one late takes between 80 to 100 points off your FICO score recently. And it doesn't matter if it's a $15 payment or a $2,500 payment, it affects it the same way.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh.
People need to also be careful. Like, I know people set up the recurring payments, but they put like a set amount.
Yeah, usually the minimum.
Right. Well, I had this guy I talked to a while ago, and he told me the way he had it set up, it was like a set amount going every time, not like the bare minimum, but like a dollar amount that he had set. It was like 60 cents that he didn't pay, tanked his credit.
Yeah, because they don't take partial payments.
Yeah, he was doing.
Yeah, you got to put the minimum on there, not what you think, because as you add to that balance, it could be going up. Or you're right. If you're late one time, so you have a 21% card, if you miss a payment, like just a couple days, they'll pop you a 30%.
Yeah,
it's amazing the usury that they can get away with today.
Right, and for a lot of people, it'll have them out. I mean, think about like how long it would take to recoup, that amount of points.
It's gonna take, it's like a GPA.
Right.
Get 1D and you're messed for the rest of the semester.
No, yeah, it's like, those things are all really important. I think that's also why it's like I always tell everybody to stay in touch with us. Like, even if it's something that you're years out, stay in touch with us and keep up on those things. Some people don't check it enough.
Well, another thing is right now, right? People are going through hard times right now. I keep posting stuff on TikTok, and people are commenting how bad it is. And so you're going to probably go through and damage your credit. Don't stress over it. There's ways to get that up, or you go FHA or VA, or, don't stress over, I got to keep my 720, 740 FICO score, but you stress over it and you get sick and something else happens. It's not worth that. It's not worth that stress. Yeah. Whatever happens can be fixed over time.
And that's where, again, that's exactly where we come in, where it's like, come to us and find out what's wrong, find out what's lacking. And I mean, Ed sees it a lot better than I do. That's all on like your own, where you can like actually see, okay, like this could actually help. And for a lot of people, they're not taking advantage of having us as resources.
Right. Because I had somebody who had a recent late, and then they also had like a year or half a year, 6-8 months ago, multiple lates, right? And they paid everything off. And so let's put this back up. Before this recent late, I was like, okay, if you pay all this stuff off, we'll get a 720. Got the recent late after doing all that, and they have a 638.
Yeah.
So recent lates hurt. However, I understand things happen. There's, that in life happens. Yeah. Just pay them off, and over time, your score will be better.
Right.
Time heals all.
No, yeah, and it's all like, I mean, I know some people, I know Dave Ramsey can be a little extreme sometimes, right? But even just like, I think his principles of like saving money are good.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like a lot of people, it just takes being a little bit more like conscious at times,
Yeah.
And again, like we said, there are times where hardships come, the random emergencies. I know it's like they have a statistic, like, what is it, like over or close to 50% of Americans like aren't quite prepared for like a $1,000 emergency.
Right now, 80% of the people out there can't come up with $400.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
and actually, so back up a second. What we just went through or going through, a lot of us, wasn't planned. Nobody expected short-term rent, our mortgage rates to go up 5% in a 6-month to now a year period of time. That's never happened before. This is, you can plan all you want and you do the best you can plan, and still things will happen, is what I'm trying to get at. So I understand where you're coming from. That's why everybody says, don't get credit card debt. Don't do this. Don't do that. Sometimes in life, things happen and you have to do it. And then you lose your job. This happens. Again, don't stress over it. We can work on it over time. There's no judgments here. If it's happened to you, it's happened to me multiple times.
No, and that's like what a lot of people, it's just having that willpower to keep going, to keep steaming through and, get through the tough times.
Yes, it's not about, it's getting back up. It's not about getting knocked down. It's about getting back up and not quitting.
Yeah.
Everybody can have a plan until they get punched in the face.
Yeah. No, that's the best. I know. And it's exactly like you said. It's like, doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down. It's just the only part that does matter is when you keep getting back up. And again, just continuously working towards it. And everything, takes time. And again, having a plan and having a procedure, can help make it easier.
That is correct. All right, Francisco, thanks for coming in today. Really appreciate it. And thank you guys for watching. If you like what we do here, subscribe and let everybody know. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.